My name is Edith Nakawesa. I am a gerontologist and I work with Ubuntu Elderly Care, where humanity meets care. We give quality care for the elderly in Uganda, and we provide services like consultancy in geriatrics and gerontology, counseling, grief counseling. We have a therapeutic daycare hub, and we do physiotherapy, among others. We are located in Budo, Nakaso's area. This month is a month of June, and it's an Alzheimer's and brain awareness month. In Alzheimer's and brain awareness, there is trauma, childhood trauma that we carry on even in our old age. Today, I'm with someone who is going to introduce herself, and from there, she'll tell us more about her story when it comes to trauma, childhood trauma, aging, among others. Yes, Auntie Joy, you're welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Edith. Good afternoon. I'm Joy Karibala Nasubuga, a retired health professional and a psychotherapist. And I'm an elderly person. Currently, I'm attached to the team of Ubuntu for the elderly care and services, where my role mainly will be on counseling issues which face the elderly, though they don't usually talk about them. I'm happy to join the group.
You are very much welcome, Auntie Joy. We work with Auntie Joy. We are a staff of Ubuntu Elderly Care. Yes, Auntie Joy, you're much welcome.
Thank you.
Please, can you tell us about your story, about the childhood traumas and how they affect our brain as we grow into old age?
Childhood trauma is diverse. So, as I grew up with not knowing my real father. I grew up in different homes, and I grew up in a situation whereby children were not allowed to ask questions. So, as I grew up, I was studying, and I was one day at my uncle's, another day at my auntie's. But I was grateful that I managed to finish my secondary education, and I took my nursing course. And all along, I grew up not knowing my real father until I think I was about 23 years when I came to join nursing. But then, as the trauma itself, a child growing up not knowing any of the parents, you are growing in different environments, and you have so many questions in your heart. But the first time I saw my dad, I think it also leads to not appreciating the dad because he was not in your life. It's very traumatizing, but with the support you get from other people, you can overcome it. So I grew up with not knowing my dad, not loving my dad, and the first thing I came to know my dad and then to know the family, it was also trauma. It was very fast. It was done very fast, and I couldn't get absorbed in the family so well until later years. But I think when I took counseling, I think it helped me because in the past I couldn't even forgive my mom because I thought she was the cause of everything. But then maybe she also had her issues. So I overcame that when I had the psychotherapy, and I went through it, and then I thought and I realized that there are many old people out there who have issues which they don't talk about, either because they fear to be thought they are weak in mind, or they don't have support, or they have that fear. So with Ubuntu, working with Ubuntu, I think I'll be able to help these elderly people and their carers to help them iron out their issues as they grow, because it is leading to a lot of depression, a lot of isolation of the elders, and a lot of negligence. At times they cut off from social interactions with others, and they think that for them they are now old, they are just waiting for death. So as a child, the child needs to get support and also explanation from whoever is staying with the child or whoever is with the child, so that he knows whatever is going on. Because for me, it was just silence. I couldn't ask mom, I couldn't ask anybody. I just grew it with it, and then I overcame it slowly. And also support groups help a lot, because as older person, staying alone, you might have children, but the children now have grown old, they have gone away, they have left you in the house alone. So we always find ourselves alone, and you have no activities to do. So we need some activities to do, and also support groups. Also going to church is very important. Church helps us so much, because in church you find friends, you find your age mates, you talk, you laugh, you eat. So many, you share stories, so that one can keep an elderly person live long and be happy.
Thank you very much, Auntie Joy. Another question: were you able to recognize the traumas or the responses that came along whenever you were triggered, or how did you handle that? I could feel
most of the time lonely. I could most of the time isolate myself. Once in a while I could say, let me be quiet and stay alone, and I don't socialize. I couldn't socialize. But when I started socializing with other people, I overcame it.
So it did not in any way affect your raising of your kids or your interaction with your friends?
The raising of my kids, to me, I said, okay, got my children in early ages, and I'm a single mom. So you are saying that in my heart, I don't want my children to go through what I went through. So I introduced them quickly to their families, and they integrated with their families, which helped me and helped them.
Thank you, Auntie Joy. You mentioned about the importance of therapy and finding social groups, especially church. What advice would you give to the elderly persons that are out there but do not know what to do? They can't even recognize that they have that trauma, or their responses are because of the traumas, the childhood traumas, that they think that it's strength not to open up, like how culture sometimes says.
As individuals who are elderly, they might not realize that they have that problem. But mainly what I would advise is advocacy for these services to the elderly, because we have to look for them. Some of them might not come to church, some of them might not come for social functions. They are there in their homes, or they are in their houses. So we need a lot of sensitization to the public to know that the elderly are out there in their own homes, because some of them might not even come to church. As me, I had a time, and the church is near. At times the distance, the church might be far. At times she might be having an ailment which might not make her able to walk to the church. She has no money for the taxi, she has no money for the border, so she stays home. So our role, I think, is to reach those people, and then talk to them and explain to them And maybe with the time they can start socializing and looking for support groups.
So, yeah, in brief, it's good to find help and also to accept and acknowledge that I'm actually going through something, and knowing that therapy is not a weakness, but it's help that we all need. So that also calls on to the children to be part of the aging journey of their parents, because you find that many parents give up all they could have given to themselves to see their children get to a better place, better than the place they are in at the moment. So, thank you very much, Auntie. That brings us to the end of today's segment, right? Yes. Till next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.